So, I'm assuming he teaches you how to pick locks. This is $12.99 unpickable locks from Stuff Made Here. And this guy's there's no way there's that much intrigue regarding locks. What else does he do? Gun stuff. Holy shit, it's all locks. It's all locks. Guys? It's all locks. I didn't know there was such a, it's mostly locks, really. I didn't think there would be such a core audience for locks. Okay, this is Unpickable Locks from Stuff Made Here by LockPickingLawyer.
This is the LockPicking Lawyer, and the video you're about to watch is the culmination of a series of events that started about 6 months ago. That's when Shane, at the excellent YouTube channel Stuff Made Here, posted a video build of an unpickable lock. That video, which I will link below, also challenged me to open it.
No,
So his whole video is dedicated to making a lock that cannot be picked. And he's got the science behind it. Wow, so this is specifically designed to not be picked. Give me a second.
I will link below also challenged me to open it. I obviously accepted because the lock is here, but Shane wanted to improve his design first. And by improve, he seems to have meant completely redesign from the ground up, because what I received was the original lock and a second lock which bore no internal resemblance to the first. And I have to say I had a great time with these because both mechanisms are, to the best of my knowledge, completely original and, in my opinion, quite good.
They are super scuffed up. So my assumption is that this guy was fiddling around trying to get this open forever.
Fortunately for me, though, Shane doesn't have a lot of experience with lock defeat methods, so there were a few minor oversights that I was able to exploit.
So a guy who doesn't know anything about lockpicking tried to make an unpickable lock?
However, each of the issues I found can be fixed with very little effort, which would result in formidable lock designs.
Oh!
Before we pick these, I want to explain what I'm going to do so my actions don't look too cryptic.
Sorry.
That will require some reference to the internals. But if you want a detailed look at what's inside, you need to check out the Stuff Made Here YouTube channel, and all the appropriate links are below. The first lock, this one, looks
You've got the Stuff logo like lasered in there.
something like this on the inside. When you insert the key, the pins in contact with the key will lift these upper pins that are shown in gold. Those pins then lock into place and rotate until they're in contact with this fin. There are
Did he make this?
gates in the
Like, did he make these 3D renders or did he receive these?
fin, and only if these upper pins are in the correct position will they pass through. Notably, however, when that test phase occurs, when those upper pins encounter the fins, they are no longer in contact with the key pins. That's what makes this unpickable in theory. What I'm going to do is lift all of the upper pins as far as they will go, lock them in place, rotate them until they're in contact with the fin, and then drop them down until they fall into their gates. It usually takes a few attempts for it to work, but the method seems to be reliable.
So that's design number 1. He was sent 2 designs. It really looks like he fucked it up. Like, it really looked like, I don't know if this is because it was made unique or what condition he received them in, but this looks like my guy stuffed stuff in here and was like really struggling to get this open.
The second lock is even more complex than the first. It actually has 2 cores attached with an internal connecting rod. If we look at the back, we can see the bottom core, the top core, and a connecting rod.
Okay.
The shear line that matters is the one on the upper core, which we can't access to tension.
Is this like good lock design? I'm assuming complexity lends to better lock design.
Behind this area of the lock. By the time that upper core actually turns, the bottom core is offset by about 45 degrees, which means you can't move the pins. That's why this lock is, at least in theory, unpickable. Put differently, when you can access the pins, you can't tension the lock, and when you can tension it, you can't access the pins. I'm going to try to get around that by inserting a thin piece of metal between the door and the lock housing. Then,
I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, do you think this seems like a cop-out. You can't open it through the lock? Why are you so confident you're going to be able to get anything underneath it?
slide it up until we're over the top of that upper core, and then pull down, which should tension the upper core. Once that happens, I should be able to pick this as I would a normal lock.
You'd be surprised. You can defeat a lock as valid. Okay, yeah. Breaking in through the back. I mean, at that point, you could explode the door. You could just take a blowtorch to this thing and melt it, right? Did you pick the lock?
There are two other potential vulnerabilities. The first arises from a combination of this core rotating 45 degrees in either direction until it seizes up, and the tailpiece being misclocked by about 45 degrees. When we pick, you'll see why that makes a difference, but I think you'll get a chuckle when you see how they interact. The second vulnerability is decoding, and we can do that because all of these upper driver pins are the same length. A tool can be fashioned to lift all the pin stacks to the
way to the top,
stopping point, fully
which will-
compressing
yeah.
the springs. That's an indirect way of measuring the key pins, which would allow
Ah, shit. They're all the same. So if you can just smush them all to the top and then you get the difference, right?
us to cut a key. I did not create that tool because I had another way to open this, but that's something that used to be common before manufacturers started varying these lengths. Okay, I have been talking for too long. The jig that...
This is interesting because what I would have counted as picking the lock. He seems to be, exceeding what my definition in my
Shane
head.
sent me to pick these in is way too big to fit on my desk, so we are going to mount these up, head down to the garage, and try to open them. Okay, we are down in the garage. Both locks are mounted in this mock door, and the frame
They're mounted.
is
Okay.
secured to my workbench. We're going to start with the newer of the two locks and discuss a vulnerability enabled by the fact that this core will turn about 45 degrees before it seizes. That creates an issue as the lock interacts with the deadbolt. Now, under normal circumstances, a deadbolt that is fully extended can't be pushed back into the door. However, if we turn this core as far as it will go, it's just enough to disengage the anti-retraction mechanism. That's something we can certainly take advantage of while the door is locked. All we need to do that is something that will turn the core and something pointy like the tip of my pocket knife.
Are you serious? If you just move it, you can unlock the door.
So, I'm going to turn this as far as it will go.
You're just gonna put it
and
back
use
in.
the point of the knife
This is so dumb. This next one has to be better.
to walk the bolt back.
Bro! It doesn't stay locked! You didn't have to do anything!
Might as well let them know we're here.
Ding dong.
Next, we are going to attempt a picking attack, though certainly not a traditional one. We discussed it upstairs, but what I'm going to do is attempt to slip this between the door and the housing so we can tension the upper core. Pushing this in will do damage to the door. However, I don't think it'll be a lot of damage, and I don't think it'll be very noticeable because it'll be on the bottom. However, I will show you the damage after we're done. The hard part will be getting this into position, so let's do that now. I am pushing the tool against the door
Oh my gosh, it's just sliding right in.
so it doesn't deform.
The dog barking in the background is pretty funny. It just went right in. Okay. This is more valid than I thought. I was assuming that would be like pretty solid. Oh,
Okay,
is he on?
I might have it, but the only way to be sure is to pull on these pliers and see if the pins are binding. There we go. Click out of 1. Little click on 2. Nothing on 3. Little click on 4. Little click on 5. 1, 2. Another click on 3. Click on 4. Nothing on 5. I don't feel anything else. Let's see if we have this open.
Oh my God. I don't like that there's 4 million people, almost 5 million people learn how to pick locks from this guy. Guys, we don't need to know this. You can keep it to yourself. That was a relatively long pick attempt. So that even the first one, which is a little janky.
Okay, now let's work on the older lock. Once again,
You're enabling
discussed
people.
the theory of what we're going to be doing while we were
power.
upstairs. However, it's a little bit harder in practice. First, we need to lock it.
So this was the they sent 2, and the second one was more complex.
Okay, I'm going to use this pick to lift all the pins to their highest position.
This guy should have been in Breaking Bad. He would have been great.
And when I release these, I'm going to be tapping on the housing with this mallet. It allows for a little bit more control as the pins come down, and it increases the chances of success from about 1 in every 10 times to 1 in every 2 or 3.
Oh my God.
I think we've got it.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Locks designed so that he couldn't pick them, and he picked that thing in 4 seconds. Okay, hold on. My next question is, was he given a schematic for it? Locks are false security. Well, they're probably at least a defense against, like, the laziest of people. Hello, did you know that subscribing is free and also liking is free, but also following me on Twitch is free because I streamed this video live on Twitch, but more importantly, I want to hit 200 to 100,000 subscribers, so following me on YouTube, subscribing for free. I'm a real content creator now. Goodbye. Lockpicking is a job, Sonny. Oh, really? Because guess what? One time my mom and I were in Airbnb in Italy, and the lock broke in the Airbnb, and it locked us in the Airbnb with one door. And we had to call a lockpicker, and the Airbnb host charged us $750 to get out of her Airbnb. So yes, I know it's a job, and yep, needed sometimes. Bro, what? I know, right? Bruh, how? The lock was weird as shit. It locked into the floor. But anyway. Go away. No one's home.
Okay, folks, let's bring all this stuff back upstairs. I will show you the damage underneath, and we will sum everything up. Okay, folks, we are back upstairs, and I'm going to briefly address how to fix each of the exploits I demonstrated, but first, let's take a look at the damage to the door. It's certainly noticeable once the lock is removed, though much of the damage is covered by the lock, and the part that isn't is probably obscured because it's underneath the bulky housing.
True.
Frankly, even if I saw that, I'd probably attribute it to sloppy installation and not to an attack. While we're
I'd see that and be like, well, if they broke in, fuck me, I guess. And then I'd spend the next week trying to figure out what they took.
looking at the door, note that Shane welded both of the hinge pins, probably to stop me from popping the pins and declaring victory. And I've got to say, he did the right thing because I definitely would have done that. Moving on to
Ah.
the locks, the issue with the first lock can be fixed easily by decreasing the angle of the fins so there's no slope for them to rest on. Frankly, a reverse rake would probably be advisable. With the second lock, the first exploit can be fixed with a slight modification to this moving tailpiece, reclocking that cutout by about 45 degrees. There are about a dozen ways to fix the picking exploit and deny access to the back of the lock, but when I told Shane about it, he precision machined a back cover, which is probably the most expensive solution, but certainly one that works.
Ah. Yeah, I guess if you have a machine and you're exhausted, so does that make it? I mean, I get it. An unpickable lock, yeah, you could just break the window, right? You're just gonna break the window. Well, fuck it. We're talking about locks.
Is there a video showing how to pick a bank vault, asking for a friend who has a school project?
Yeah, there's got to be a video somewhere on this channel. At this point, there's got to be video. Like these videos, I don't like people. Why are you telling people how to pick bike locks? Dude. You are helping people who want to steal bikes.
So, I hope you all enjoyed this. Shane, excellent work on these locks, and thank you so much for sending them my way.
I would say lock your door, but this guy makes that advice null and void.
God damn it.
That's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe.
Fuck yeah. Subscribed. Let's watch this one.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I recently saw a YouTube video with over 60 million views showing how to break open a padlock using 2 wrenches just like these. Now I'll leave a link in the description below, but essentially the video shows this arrangement. The 2 wrenches are inserted through the shackle of the padlock.
It's like you're tossing a spaghetti. You know, you got the double
when they
fork.
are pressed together, they lever against each
Oh, it's not like that. Okay.
other and exert an incredible amount of outward force on the inside of the shackle. Now, if you think about it, you realize that the force exerted by the wrenches is actually directed to the thickest part of the shackle and then through the shackle to the lock body. Now, in the video, it's the pot metal lock body which breaks because of the extreme forces, of course, but also because of the weak lock material. But the trick really doesn't scale up because the forces are being exerted to a strong part of the lock. So even with a mildly competent padlock, the trick's going to fall flat. But I don't think it has to if we can redirect those forces to a weak part of the lock. So consider this master lock. If we had to choose the weak parts of this lock, I'd probably start with these little cutouts in the shackle where the locking lugs go, and then the locking lugs themselves. Those are probably the physically weakest parts of the lock. So if we can redirect the extreme forces exerted by these wrenches to those parts of the lock, I think we have a trick that could probably scale up to some stronger locks. So it's actually not that hard to do. All we do is reorient one of those wrenches. We put the first one in like so, and then the second one at a 90-degree angle. So let's see what happens when we try this. Okay, looks like we broke something, but it's not completely open. Let's try that one more time.
Just hit it with a hammer.
There we go. Okay.
Oh no, I have 2 wrenches and a master lock.
Okay, let's take a look at it.
I know I have master locks hanging around somewhere because if you use a U-Haul, I moved from New Hampshire to where I am, and if you use U-Haul, they require you to buy a lock. I just don't know where my locks are. Let me check my I probably got rid of them because I probably didn't use. I probably donated them. That would be fun to try this really quick, but I have 2 wrenches but no lock. I have unlimited bacon but no bacon. Ah.
Exactly what happened. If we look at this shackle, we can see that
it fucking broke. No way. All right, more. My wife versus Ben and Jerry's ice cream lock.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and today I'm going to attempt one of the most dangerous things ever caught on camera.
Is this an April Fool? This has got to be April Fool. It's not. All
To
right.
get between my wife and a pint of her favorite ice cream, and we're going to do it with this.
The other day I went to buy some Ben & Jerry's. It was $10 for a pint. It was $10, $10.99.
A Ben & Jerry's
I scoffed and I bought a Twinkie.
Euphoria lock. It's a plastic 3-digit combination lock specifically designed to secure a pint of ice cream. Now, this is a lock that is incredibly easy to decode. In fact, I don't recall ever seeing a combination lock with gates that were so easy to locate by feel. But that's actually perfect for what I have in mind. You see, I've always wanted to get Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer.
It's basically a meme, right? This isn't a real lock. The lock isn't the point.
Interested in non-destructive entry methods.
Oh, so he's trying to get his wife into his hobby.
And this combines a beginner lock with a really nice incentive to learn. So what I'm going to do is
he's gonna lock his wife's ice cream
lock up a pint of her favorite.
The vanilla caramel fudge. What the? This is some taste. Okay.
Ice
The Cherry Garcia is the best Ben & Jerry's flavor ever.
cream, Ben & Jerry's vanilla caramel fudge.
Disgusting.
Put it in the freezer, and when she finds it, hopefully I'll be able to convince her to join me on camera, and I will teach her how to open this up.
What?
So,
You will get into my hobby.
off this goes to the freezer, and I will update you soon.
Will she get in, chat? Will she get in?
Okay, folks, I really should have known
Double
better.
chocolate fudge is good.
I came home today to find my wife standing next to the refrigerator, looking like the cat that ate the canary. So I opened up the freezer and I found this. So it seems that the lessons of the day come courtesy of Mrs. Lockpicking Lawyer, who reminds us all, first, that security is only as good as its weakest link, and second, that no man should ever get between his wife and her ice cream.
I need to show this to the security, to the cybersecurity department at work. I work in tech. I need to show them this and be like, hey, what's your weakest link, guys? No, this is so cute.
In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please subscribe. And as always, have a nice day.
I would have never imagined going in through the bottom. I like that a lot. This is a much better idea than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, like, oh, set it to 1, check all the other ones, set it to 2, check all the. Just open the bottom. All right, one more. This is so good. Removing the scammer's boot? Hold on. I gotta see this shit.
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and I recently saw a YouTube video of a news report covering an illegal car booting operation in the Chicago area. And
Why is it always Chicago? Every time I hear of like the illegal operation, 3 men have been running a drug company for the last 22 years in Chicago.
being who I am,
You know why. The crime, like, Chicago, by the way, I've heard, is kind of nice. It's just some people are insane.
I decided to see if I could find the exact model of
It's the
car
deep
boot
dish pizza.
that the
That makes sense.
perpetrator used. I soon discovered that the model was sold under several different names on Amazon, so I picked one up, and we're going to see just how
Give me a second here. Why are car boots like $40? You can't just boot Leah's car, so she has to stay forever. I don't know. I might be able to. You can also see me like fucking in a random address. Where the fuck was I here?
hard it would have been for someone with the right tools to release their car. It turns out that the right tools are nothing but a screwdriver and a tubular lockpick. So let's head outside, lock this on my car, and get to work.
Okay, folks, we're out in my driveway, and I have this locked onto my car as best I can, given the size of the wheel that it's locked to.
So it is a piece of shit.
The first thing we need to do
You could absolutely drive out of that, huh?
is open this little door, and I'm going to do that using this tubular lock impressioning tool.
That's a nasty scar on his hand. I wonder what happened.
Okay, now that we have the door open, I just need to loosen a little screw there. Normally that would be done with this tool that comes with the boot, but I'm just going to use a screwdriver.
Oh no, that was on there pretty good then. This little thing is the thing that sticks it. Okay. Damn.
Okay, we are back upstairs and
Everyone in Chicago was like, thank God. Thank God. I'm able to escape the
as you
car
saw,
booters.
this really doesn't provide any challenge if of course you have the right tools and a little bit of knowledge, which I suppose is the rub. In any case, that's all I have for you today. If you do have any questions or comments about this, please put them below.
I would go around and steal as many of these boots as I could. I would take so many boots. Get me a boot. I want my car to be booted so that I have the opportunity to have a free boot to put on someone else's car. This seems like an absolute win. I want one of these. Oh my God. My only concern is, like, prank-wise, if my friends didn't notice this was on their car. That would be bad. All right, this guy's funny. I like the content. I like the lockpicking lawyer. Thank you for gifting a sub to Sunny Boot. Please don't boot my car. I've never been booted before. I am a good bean. I pay my bills.